Hello everybody and welcome back to more political chatter. In this video we will be talking about the potential surprise vice presidential pick that Donald Trump may announce any day now, that being the possibility that it is Tulsi Gabbard. Now Tulsi Gabbard is someone that, based off the facts, you would not expect to even be a contender for any vice presidential Republican nomination. She was a Democratic Congresswoman for quite a few years. She was a co chair or in some high position of the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, which is hated by Republicans and conservatives for what they say is corrupt processes and everything and corrupt dealings inside. And she even ran for president for the Democratic nomination in 2020, where debate after debate, every time she spoke, she called out Donald Trump. But now, in a very strange turn of events, she has said that she would be ready to, quote, serve her country, unquote, if she were, or if Donald Trump asked her to be his running mate. Now, this is a major sleeper pick, I feel. I think that looking at the potential names for the nomination, right here, you've got people like Tim Scott, Elise Stefanik, Marco Rubio, who are, high up names who would add a lot to the ticket and who might actually get picked. But away from those three, there is really no one else that stands out to me as even a possibility of being chosen. People like Elise Stefanik, I don't think that Trump would pick her because of how little known she is across the country. J.D. Vance says he has not talked with Trump or his team at all about being his running mate. Nikki Haley, zero possibility. She does not want the job. Ben Carson, I think Donald Trump knows that would be a horrible choice and would only hurt the ticket. Kristi Noem shot her puppy. She's out of the running. Ron DeSantis would only hurt the ticket as well. So looking at all of these potential names, there isn't really anyone who I feel, besides three names, that being Tim Scott, Marco Rubio, and I guess Elise Stefanik, or you could say, Tim Scott, I guess, or Marco Rubio, or Elise Stefanik are the only three that really have any real possibility, I feel, of being the pick, Donald Trump's running mate pick, um, or or they're strong or whatever. But who is not on this list and who is never included in any of these lists that media publishers put out is Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, because I think that most people feel, most whatever news organizations feel that Trump isn't even considering Tulsi Gabbard because she is a former Democrat, because she definitely does not play into that loyalty factor that Donald Trump values a lot. But I seriously think that Tulsi Gabbard may be a major sleeper pick because her attitude towards Trump has changed drastically in the last year or two, and it is clear that she wants this job bad and she is vying for it. This also comes after there was a lot of speculation whether Tulsi Gabbard would serve as RFK Jr.'s running mate. She had a lot of positive things to say about Kennedy, and they appeared in podcasts together and stuff. They talked to each other during podcasts and stuff like that. And they aligned very similarly politically. I mean, they are very aligned politically. But she reportedly turned down that offer. So it is clear that she wants this job. Now, looking back at the betting markets, again, as I said, this would be a big surprise. Tulsi Gabbard is not even included in the top about 20 names that people can bet on. Now, I do think that other woman, I think that option, the vast majority of these 12% are voting for Tulsi Gabbard. And it is even clear in my YouTube comments, a lot of Trump supporters would be very happy with Tulsi Gabbard as Trump's running mate. And I think that they are not wrong. They are very right for thinking that Tulsi Gabbard would help the ticket. And that is because it has become clear after 2020 and 2022 that Donald Trump has a MAGA problem. He is too closely aligned with only his base of supporters, and he only appeals in 2020. The only group that he appealed to were his own supporters, was his base, was the MAGA base. Those are the only group of voters, which was a large group, that he really appealed to as a candidate. So he does have this MAGA problem, um, in all of his 2022 and even his 2024 endorsed candidates in Senate and House and gubernatorial elections. They the only people he endorsed were the MAGA candidates, were the candidates that were strongly with Donald Trump, that had endorsed him, the other way around, and have had his back for quite a while now. That was apparent in Republican primary after Republican primary after Republican primary. And usually his voters came out on top, or his candidates came out on top, because the Republican Party is the party of Donald Trump. However, that may be true for the Republican Party. That is candidates won. But especially in 2020, showed us, that's a problem when you look nationwide, because you need to expand, after your base. I mean, Donald Trump turned away more moderate Republicans in states like Arizona and Georgia, most notably because of how narrow those margins are in the large group of moderate Republicans that exist in both of these states. But if he does appeal to more groups, then he will have a much easier time winning than in 2020 and even 2016. And I think that someone like Tulsi Gabbard would really help with that. A former Democrat, even though a lot of Republicans would have issues with a former Democrat being chosen as vice president, at the end of the day, they will still be voting for Donald Trump if they are a Trump supporter. They will not care enough to turn their backs on him. And as for Tulsi Gabbard, as the other name on the ticket, she would really help expand on this narrative that, that the Republican Party is just the party of MAGA, and she would help expand that Republican base. Really, the positive outweighs the negative for someone like Tulsi Gabbard. I think that she would be a very good pick. I think that she would get more moderate voters um, on Trump's side. And very importantly, it is very apparent, according to the historic polling that Kennedy is at, it has proven time and time again that there is a very large group of Americans who are supporting Kennedy and other third party candidates just so that they can show that they are unhappy with the two party system and the two choices that the Democrat and Republican parties came up with, Biden and Trump. That's why Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is polling so high. And I think that there are quite a few independents and libertarians and, other third parties who look at Trump and, would prefer him and are politically independent, and they like how Donald Trump is still an outsider. These would have been Trump 2016 voters, but they just feel that he would produce the same old stuff as they saw during his first term, just the same old political nonsense and just nothing, no real change happening, as what occurred during his first term. And I think someone like Tulsi Gabbard, who is so anti-establishment, and who is a former Democrat who has changed her position on many issues, I think that she would help prove that this ticket, or I think that this would help Trump be able to campaign on the fact that he will shake up the system. And ultimately, I think that he could pull a lot of voters away from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and really just bring a lot of more anti-establishment voters who were at first weary of him, of supporting him again, as they did in 2016 and maybe 2020. I think that Tulsi Gabbard would bring a lot of those people in. So I think that this would be a good pick, and one that Trump should consider, actually, because it would help the ticket. And I really think that this is a sleeper pick that no one is talking about. So thank you all for watching this video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment and drop a like. And I will see you all next time.